Hey up everyone! So today's movie I'm discussing on the channel is the new rom-com Fly Me to the Moon from director Greg Berlanti. He's the chap who gave us Love, Simon. The film is set in 1969 and stars Scarlett Johansson as a charismatic marketing specialist called Kelly Jones, who is called in from the president's office to help revamp the American space program and get Americans excited about the space launch and getting a man on the moon. She's sent to NASA where she clashes with engineer Cole Davis, who's played by Channing Tatum. They have that whole frictiony romance thing going for them. Like, you can tell that they both like each other, but they often do butt heads on certain things because he just wants to get a man safely to the moon and back, whereas, she's trying to sell it and advertise it. She wants to put a camera on the spacecraft, and he doesn't have, the weight allowance to put, a camera on it. So yeah, they often don't see eye to eye, okay? It's a very chalk and cheese relationship, but with an undertow of sexual tension. But when Kelly is informed that this mission is deemed too important to fail, she is tasked by the Oval Office with executing a plan B, if you will, which is to stage a fake moon landing in a soundstage with, a set and, actors on wires bobbing around, just in case the actual mission to the moon isn't a success. And she's got to keep all of that a secret from Cole. I mean, she also has to keep it secret from the whole world because it's classified information, but yeah, Cole is the main person she can't let slip to. I saw this film last week, and I gotta say, I didn't have high expectations for it, but I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't hate this film, but I didn't care for it all that much either. In my opinion, I just found this to be a very plain rom-com with a few chuckles here or there, but was I moonstruck? Hardly. But let's talk positives first, okay? What did I like about it? Well, I did think that the performances in it were pretty good. Scarlett Johansson just oozes charisma as Kelly, and she really does light up the screen like an old-timey starlet from the 1960s. It was also nice to see her in a comedic role again. But I'd have to say that the best performance in this film comes from Jim Rash, who plays the disgruntled filmmaker Lance Vespertine, who is the mercurial and hot-headed director that Kelly hires to stage the fake moon landing. And Rash plays him like an absolute diva, okay? Like, he's hot shit, the best thing since Stanley Kubrick, and yeah, Jim Rash was just fantastic in this. I would go as far as saying that he steals this film, or at least steals every scene that he's in. As for Channing Tatum, he was fine in this. Like, he's got that whole all-American blockhead thing going for him. But I wouldn't go as far as saying he made the role his own, like nobody else could do a better job than he could. It kind of feels like he was like the third or fourth alternate for this part, because you could see so many people jumping into this role and doing a good job, like Glenn Powell, Ryan Reynolds, or Zac Efron. And this isn't a criticism on Tatum, but why did the hair and makeup team give Channing Tatum a skin fade in this film? It's set in 1969. That was definitely a weird hair choice. And this is like the nittiest of picks, but did the costume department really feel the need to always have him in a turtleneck and like a visible like tank top underneath? I mean, sure, it's nice he has his own style, but after a while, it kind of became distracting. But I will say this, after watching what I thought was a very glossy trailer with like a lot of like green screen, blue screen backdrops, I will say I was genuinely surprised by some of the production design and filming locations for this film. They did a very good job of giving that sense of scale and ambition of the space launch. There was quite a few scenes with a lot of massive warehouses and very visibly open spaces, to sort of reflect the whole, vastness of outer space. But I will hold my hands up and say this film wasn't as glossy as the trailer made it look. I will admit, I also kind of appreciated the slightly cheesy message about how you can win people over just by being who you are. That was cute. Yeah, it might be a little sappy, but I like a bit of sap. And I will say that Berlanti does do a good job of capturing those few little moments, where all these regular individuals came together, worked for a decade, to put a man on the moon, and they all accomplished something extraordinary, okay? You can really feel that they feel so proud and special in those moments, okay? Like being part of something so much bigger than themselves, okay? The film did a pretty good job of making you feel how they were feeling. But what didn't I like about Fly Me to the Moon? Well, for starters, this film was far too long, okay? It had no business being 2 hours and 15 minutes, okay? It took like the best part of a decade to put a man on the moon, and this movie somehow felt even longer than that. I kept checking my watch on this film, which is never a good sign because it meant I was, antsy for it to finish. So yeah, it definitely overstayed its welcome. And I guess it's not that I think it's a bad film, more that it's just a passable one. It felt like as soon as I left the cinema that I was already beginning to forget about it. So yeah, this movie is just a massive case of indifference for me. Anyway, let's ask them 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch it again? Nah, sorry, this movie was just a bit too mundane. mundane for me. I don't think I ever would feel the need to watch it again. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? It's an easy enough watch, like it's very inoffensive, but I just found the film to be so beige. Like, I didn't laugh all that hard, I didn't swoon over the romance, I just thought it was fine. So yeah, I don't really recommend it, but if you're looking for something that's very straightforward, you know, to watch on a leisurely Sunday afternoon, then you could do a lot worse than Fly Me to the Moon. And third question, what score to give out of 10? Fly Me to the Moon was watchable, but left no impact on me, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. Would love to hear your thoughts on Fly Me to the Moon. Am I being too harsh on it? Did you really love it? Did you dig it? What did you think of the performances? What do you have to say? Let me know in that comment section down below. If you guys have enjoyed this video, help me out with the little thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars-related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Hearfield, and I'll see you next time.